So the first event for Donkey Kong Bonanza's DLC kicked off a little bit ago, so I wanted to showcase what it has to offer. So this adds 2 new statues to the game. It will be going on until November 3rd, so if you want to unlock these statues, you'll have to complete the event by then. But one of the statues that it adds is the Kong Bananza, so that's why the Bonanzas weren't already in the DLC. They're adding them through these events, but it's pretty cool. So this one actually takes 1,000,000 emeralds to unlock, which may seem like quite a lot and may seem pretty challenging, but there is actually a trick to unlocking it easily, which I'll kind of talk about later in the video. But the default location for this is right in front of the DK head, so like kind of front and center on the island here. But the next statue is over here, near DK's house. And it's one that I was definitely looking forward to. And it's Enguarde. So it's pretty cool that they're adding the other animal buddies as statues here. It seems like they probably will do more in the future, but it really is cool seeing a high quality model of Enguarde in this game. Even though it does kind of have a metallic texture, you can kind of see that it is a slightly updated design, and it really is cool to see this game acknowledge more of like the classic rare characters. So it is cool that they are doing like interesting statues, even from characters that aren't in the game. They're actually doing an event with Lanky Kong and Chunky Kong in the future, so I'm definitely looking forward to that too. That was actually announced just recently. But let's get into how this event works. The way of unlocking these statues is pretty interesting. Rather than doing a regular run of Emerald Rush, you're booted into a special event version of Emerald Rush that has a certain set of conditions. This event is called Chip Fever, so it mostly surrounds the emerald chips, and rather than having all of the perks available to you like usual, you only have a limited number of perks, and most of these perks surround the emerald chips. So it kind of changes the way that you play through these runs. Rather than mostly focusing on the emeralds as usual, you're going to want to focus on maximizing the amount of emerald chips that you have. I kind of made the mistake of mostly focusing on emeralds the first run that I did, and only found out that you had to focus on the chips when it was too late. There are a couple different strategies that I found that are pretty helpful for maximizing the amount of emerald chips. One of them is through the Chip Negotiator perk. Basically, this increases the amount of emerald chips that you get from completing each of Void Kong's missions. If you complete a ton of Void Kong missions throughout your runs, you could easily get hundreds, if not thousands of chips this way, so this is definitely one of the most useful perks. But another helpful perk is also Treasure Hunter, increasing the amount of treasure chests in Chip Treasure, which increases the chance that you'll get emerald chips from a chest, or Treasure Hunter, which increases the amount of chips and emeralds that you get from a chest. I feel like the combination of these 3 perks have been very helpful for me, and at the very least, combining Treasure Hunter with one of these perks can be pretty helpful as well. I feel like Treasure Hunter is very useful if you keep upgrading this perk, since you can basically make it to where a chest spawns whenever you dig into the ground. It is very useful, and it can kind of get a little overpowered sometimes. Another crucial perk to keep in mind is Magic Wallet, which increases the amount of emerald chips that you have by half. This one is very useful for getting a ton of emerald chips, and I definitely recommend getting this perk whenever you see it. But basically, throughout your run, try to collect as many chips as possible until the final round, where you use the most important perk of this event, called Smelting Green. And you use this perk to convert all of your emerald chips to emeralds. And the emerald chips are worth quite a lot of emeralds, so you only need a couple thousand emerald chips to get that goal of 1,000,000 emeralds. So that's basically how you unlock the statues in this event, and as a reminder, the Kong Bonanza statue is 1,000,000 emeralds, and the Enguarde statue is 80,000. So overall, I thought this event was pretty interesting. It's actually a little more involved than I thought it was because of the conditions that they're adding for each of these. I do think the FOMO aspect of these events is a little disappointing, and I'm not a huge fan of it, and I also think these special conditions with a limited number of perks shouldn't just be limited to the events, because I think it's a pretty fun way of playing through Emerald Rush, and it adds a lot of replayability. But anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments, and thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!